What is good, y'all? Welcome back to Chris and Ralph Productions. As always, I am Chris,
And well,
and today we're going to be getting into our thoughts on the Avengers Doomsday.
cast
Yes, sir. So, this was announced back in March.
March.
We are officially in May,
Yeah,
and now we're getting to it. Ralph and I, we watched the live stream that they did
yeah,
back in March, where they revealed the chairs. We watched chairs for 5 hours.
yeah,
And you know what? I was not disappointed. So if you know a little bit about us, you know that we are absolutely excited for Avengers Doomsday.
yep,
We're fresh off of the Thunderbolts. Oh, excuse me.
yeah.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
The new Avengers,
The new Avengers.
which they're going to be in this movie as well. As we speak, they began filming what probably like 4 days ago, maybe 5 days. They started
Yeah.
officially filming this movie in London, and I am hyped. So Ralph and I were gonna go down through the cast, and something that I saw that was posted today of the possible remainder of the cast that was reported by a very reliable source online. He knew the Fantastic Four casting like damn near a year before it was announced. He knew about Robert Downey Jr. 6, 7 months before he was announced. So I believe this source that was posted online. But let's not waste any more time.
Okay,
You
yep.
ready? Let's go ahead
And
and
if I do, let's
let's
begin.
get into it. So this is every confirmed cast member in Avengers Doomsday
So
so far.
far.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor
Wait,
Doom,
what?
bro. Whenever we
Yeah,
were watching Comic Con last year, or like we were watching
like
the feed,
yeah, like on disgusting film.
it was crazy.
Yeah, we were like refreshing the page, see any updates until we saw the part. Robert Downey Jr. as which as Doctor Doom. We're like, wait, what?
We lost our minds.
Yeah,
We did like a quick reaction, and then um, I'm excited for RDJ as Doctor Doom
yeah,
because it gets me hyped again. And not to say I was never excited at all, but this puts it, put me in a hyperdrive in terms of excitement.
yeah.
Um, so before we get any further, anything else you want to say about RDJ as Doctor Doom?
This. I was not expecting RDJ as Doctor Doom.
Not in a million years did I
Yeah,
see it coming, and I'm happy that he's back.
yeah.
So let's go ahead and get into our next, and that is Pedro Pascal
As
as Reed
Reed
Richards,
Richards,
aka Mr.
Mr.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Of course, we have First Steps coming out in July. Fantastic
Fantastic
Four. I'm beyond hyped for
Four.
that. Fantastic Four is in our number one most anticipated movie of the year, alongside another film that we'll get into at another video.
Yeah,
But Pascal Pedro as Reed. Whenever there was like rumors about who was going to play Reed, he wasn't on my radar because I didn't think that he would ever do it. But here we are. He's Mr. Fantastic.
yeah,
I love this. Do you, Ralphie?
yeah. Like for me though, I never thought Pedro Pascal would be Reed Richards, but after I saw the casting announcement, I was like, he's gonna do great as Reed Richards.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah,
so much range. He's in a wonderful lead. He's on fire right now in Hollywood. So what better name than to have him as Mr. Fantastic? And who is Mr. Fantastic's right hand woman? His wife, Vanessa Kirby
Vanessa
as
Kirby as Sue
Susan
Storm,
Storm,
aka
aka
the
Invisible
Invisible
Woman.
Woman.
Vanessa Kirby, she is a wonderful actress. I seen her most recently in Mission Impossible, and she plays like this black market saleswoman. And in this movie, she's gonna be an absolute amazing scientist of minds. And she's gonna be a mom in this one, so I'm excited to see how they're gonna portray, the kids and stuff. Which this is a Fantastic Four, but this is in Doomsday.
Yeah.
Um, but what do you think about Vanessa Kirby as Invisible Woman?
So since I don't recall I saw like any like other project with Vanessa Kirby, but I do think she's gonna do great as Sue Storm in the movie.
Yeah, she's a great actress.
Yeah,
Can't wait to see what she does in Doomsday. Next, we have Ebon Moss Backrot as the Thing,
the thing.
Ben Grimm. This is not his first time in Marvel. He's in the Punisher TV show. I forget his character's name. It's been a while since I've seen the TV show. But the thing, amazing. Anything you want to say about that one?
Here's the thing about it.
Here's the thing. If you've ever read Secret Wars, and this is, Doomsday is going to lead into Secret Wars, all four Fantastic Four members are like at the center of this story. Human Torch, the Thing, tragic stuff happens to them. Sue is with Doctor Doom. Reed is trying to get his family back. He's trying to like restore the multiverse. So I can't wait to see that. And last but not least, in the Fantastic Four, we have Joseph Quinn as
That's
Johnny
Johnny
Storm,
Storm,
aka Human
the
Torch.
Human Torch. So Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, like again, was not expecting with the casting choice, but again, I do I do think he's gonna do great in as Johnny Storm in the movie.
Yeah, me too. He's gonna be wonderful. All right, next we have probably one of the ones that I'm most excited to see come back
Yeah,
is Chris Hemsworth as Thor. Um, Chris Hemsworth, the Thor as a character has I've always enjoyed the character, but I'd say the last year or so I've been reading a lot of Thor comics, and I think Thor is one of my absolute favorite characters in Marvel. He's coming off of Love and Thunder, which had very mixed reviews, even coming from him.
yeah,
But what do you expect to see Chris Hemsworth as Thor in Avengers Doomsday?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like for me, do with because him with kind of hoping we get some sort of like a bit serious like on it, but like
Yeah,
without the whole like the goofiness from
as compared to Love and Thunder and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, I think he's going to be a very, well, I want to say very, because I think his portrayal in Ragnarok is perfect. I think
yeah,
it's a mixture of comedy, seriousness at times. So I want him to revert back to more of the Ragnarok Thor.
yeah,
But we'll see what they have him do. And if you know anything about Chris Hemsworth, he says that he loves this character. He wants to play this character till the wheels fall off. So
yeah.
can't wait for that.
Oh yeah. Also, by the way, though, Chris Hemsworth's name like was the first thing that
The
showed up.
first chair. It was
Yeah,
the first chair. We all thought it was gonna be Thor 5.
yeah.
Turns out it was Doomsday. And Doomsday, if you're gonna have an Avengers team, then you need a captain. And what other than Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson, aka Captain
Captain
America?
America.
You lead this one, Rafi. I love Sam Wilson.
So it is great though to see like Anthony Mackie as Captain America in an Avengers film.
Yes, because we've seen him in Infinity War, we've seen him in Endgame, seen him in Civil War, and he's always been right there next to Steve Rogers' side.
Yeah,
But now we're gonna have him be our captain. Uh, Thoroughly enjoyed Brave New World. Have thoughts about that in terms of story and all that, but regardless, Sam Wilson is legit one of my favorite characters in the MCU, and I can't wait to see him lead an Avengers team.
yeah.
Not the new Avengers. We'll get into that post credit scene a little later. But anything else you want to add about Sam Wilson?
And nope.
Nope. All right, let's go. Next we have dun 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 dun. Dun. Yeah, we're
Paul
all asleep.
Rudd.
Go ahead.
Paul Rudd and Ascot Lane, aka Ant Man.
Yeah, he had the smallest chair
Yeah,
because he's a baby. No, because he's an Ant Man.
yeah,
Uh, Quantumania, not my favorite movie of Phase 5. It's not. But with that being said, Scott Lang, Paul Rudd, Ant Man, I love that character. I love
yeah,
that guy. So to see him in an Avengers movie, well, we saw him in Endgame, of course,
yeah,
but like, what am I trying to say? And Endgame was such a different movie. I'm very curious to see how he's gonna be since he's older this time. Well, he's always been older. Since he's older around this time around, I'm curious to see how he's gonna be in this movie. But that picture that RDJ shared, where they're all watching Thunderbolts,
yeah.
Paul Rudd was there, so that's super cool. Let's go ahead and get into our next actor, and that is Thunderbolts. Excuse me, New
New Avengers,
Avengers. Sebastian
Sebastian
Stan,
Stan as Bucky Barnes.
Winter Soldier. Uh, I really don't know what more to say about Bucky because we just saw the New Avengers opening day. He was an incredible part of that movie. He's a wonderful lead. Sebastian Stan, I think, if I'm not mistaken, him and Tom Hiddleston are the only two actors to appear in every phase in Marvel so far.
Yeah,
They're the only two that to do that. Um, phases 1 through 5. Phases 1 through 5. Chris Hemsworth. technically he hasn't been in phase 5. He was in phase 4. But those two actors are the only two to be in every phase, and that is pretty awesome. Um, yeah, Rafi, you got anything else to say?
And nope.
Nope. Oh, okay. All right, let's go ahead and get into our next one. Oh, my heart. Yeah, Florence
Florence
Pugh
Pugh
as
as like
Elena Belova, aka Black Widow. She is our new MCU Black Widow, and she is the star. They're all stars in New
yeah.
Avengers, but she is the absolute star. What did you think of her in New Avengers?
She did great. She did great in the movie, and very curious. Like of course, since they haven't announced all so many actors and characters for this one, very curious about the balance, like the balancing when it comes to like chemistry or screen time or something.
Oh yeah, I think they'll figure it out. The
Yeah.
refills in them, um, because this is going to be the biggest cast. Well, Secret Wars is going to be the biggest cast ever assembled for any movie. But before Secret Wars, Doomsday is going to be the biggest cast ever assembled, and or at least the most amount of leads. And Florence Pugh, she's an amazing actress. She's going to fit right into that. Next, we have Wyatt Russell as John Walker, aka U.S.
U.S.
Agent.
agent.
He was also a standout in New Avengers. Absolute gem of an actor, Wyatt Russell, aka Kurt Russell's son.
Yep.
What did you think of his performance in New Avengers?
It did great though, and oh yeah, also spoiler. So during the scene of, I forgot to say this one in our last video.
Go ahead.
During the scene of U.S. Agent versus Sentry, Sentry just like bent his shield into like a
A
top.
taco,
You know,
and he still has that taco in the post-credit scene
you know.
when they're the New Avengers.
I wonder what he's gonna do with the taco shield in Doomsday.
I want him to get a new shield, or I
Yeah.
want them to fix his shield. I'm not gonna take him serious if he has a taco as a shield. Speaking of someone you can't really take serious, David Harbour as Alexi, aka Red
Red Guardian.
Guardian. You want to talk about standouts? No, this guy right here,
Yeah.
Alexi. He yells the whole movie, and I absolutely love it. Is this from? Yeah, this is from a Comic Con last year. Um, what do you want to say about Red Guardian? He's gonna, dude. Hold on, real quick. I'm sorry. His whole thing is being a fan of of Winter Soldier. He wants fame and fortune, and he got it at the end of a New Avengers. But how is he gonna be in Doomsday? What's when he's next to Black Panther and he's next to Captain America? Oh my God, you're
Yeah.
Ruffy. What do you think?
Like you know, I'm kind of hoping being I kind of hoping if we get like more like standout moments of Red Guardian and Doomsday.
Yeah, and there's only so much screen time they can
Y-
all have,
Yeah.
but whenever he's on screen, he's gonna use every single second of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get into our next casting, and that is Hannah John Kamen as
As
Ava Star, aka
Ghost
Ghost. Uh, if you know anything about us, Ant Man and the Wasp is one of our favorite MCU movies. We've seen it
multiple times.
dozens of times
Yeah.
practically. And Ghost is one of the reasons. I think she's a wonderful character. Hannah John, I think her portrayal as Ava Star, she in terms of new Avengers, out of all the main character, out of all the core cast, she probably had the least backstory in that movie. But the reason being is because she had all her backstory in Ant Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that she's back. I'm glad that she's back on the spotlight, and I just love her character. Anything you want to add for Ghost, Ruffy?
And nope.
Nope. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into Lewis Pullman, aka Bob, aka Sentry,
Century.
aka Void, aka Robert, aka yeah, he has so many names in the movie. It's
Yeah.
it's, it's pretty funny. But Lewis Pullman, his performance literally brought tears to my eyes. He was so good as Sentry. Um, what did you think of his performance, Ralph?
His performance is really good, and
Yeah,
I'm very curious. Like very wondering of like what's gonna happen like to like Bob up next in Doomsday. Is he gonna like unleash the Void or something? On
yeah,
the Century.
yeah. That's the thing. He's like Superman
Yeah.
in Marvel. So how is that going to work against Doomsday? Are they going to do like Thanos versus Hulk, where Thanos kicks Hulk's ass? Are they going to have Doctor Doom kick Sentry's ass to sort of assert that dominance that Doctor Doom is nothing to play with? Curious to see. Sentry is going to be a key part of the beginning of Doomsday. I really do think so. We're going to see exactly how strong Doctor Doom is. All right, next casting.
Tom Hiddleston.
other major MCU characters. Of course, Loki.
Yep.
Tom Hiddleston as Loki. Um, Loki, he crawled his little mischief butt into my heart ever since Loki season one.
Yeah.
Ralphie, what are your thoughts on Tom Hiddleston and Sebastian Stan being the only two actors to be in every phase now?
Like so far though, it is like of course impressive with those two actors who went through like every single like MCU phase.
Yeah, and what I love about how they casted Thor and Loki, that Tom Hiddleston, he said the same thing as Chris Hemsworth. He wants to play this character as long as possible. So to have the two brothers, Loki and
Yeah.
Thor, I'm Loki, you're Thor, Ralphie, right?
Yeah.
We look like I look like Tom Hiddleston, you look like Chris Hemsworth. Just kidding, guys. I know. He looks like Chris Hemsworth. I don't look nothing like Tom Hiddleston because I also look like Chris Hemsworth. Just kidding. But Loki, I'm
Yeah.
I'm scared because I want Loki to live, and we've seen Loki die numerous times. And
So
in
yeah.
order for Doctor Doom to gain control of the multiverse, he needs to take someone's power.
Yeah.
Who is controlling the multiverse right now?
Loki.
Loki. He's
Yeah.
God Loki.
Yeah, and I do remember you told me something about one of the comics though whenever Doctor Doom took the Beyond powers.
He took the Beyonder's powers
Yeah.
to control the multiverse, and Loki is our Beyonder in the MCU. So I'm scared for Loki, but we shall see. Finally, after what 4 years? By the time this movie comes out, 5 years.
Yeah.
Simu Liu as Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi is a movie that snuck up out of nowhere for me, and I think it's one of the best origin movies in the MCU.
Yeah.
Love his character.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on him finally come? We saw him in What If, so it's not his, but his live action.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on him finally coming
It
back?
is great to like finally know we are finally gonna see Shang-Chi again because like like I'm gonna say this one though, some of the recent MCU project like they introduced so many characters saying like, okay, this is the last time you're gonna see them until the next Avengers film that's probably gonna take like the next 6 years or something.
Exactly. That's been the biggest issue the last couple of phases is that a lot of these characters have popped up once and you've never seen them again.
Yeah.
I want to see these characters appear in these other movies together.
Yeah.
It's not like Phase One did that perfectly because Steve Rogers wasn't in Iron Man, Thor wasn't in Captain America. Hawkeye was in Thor, but he wasn't in Iron. They did what they could back in 2008 all the
Yeah.
way to 2012. But here we are in 2025. I want to see these characters together more often, and
Yeah.
I'm glad that Shang-Chi's back.
Yeah.
Next, Danny Ramirez as Falcon. So good in Captain America Brave New World.
Yeah.
Very funny. And you could tell that the actor, Danny Ramirez, he's just excited to be a part of this team. Um, and at the end of Brave New World, they teased that they're going to make the Avengers team,
Yeah.
right? But Sam Wilson's copywriting that. Now there's legal battles. So if you need a lawyer, what lawyer do you get?
Mad Murdock
Or
or She-Hulk.
She-Hulk? Are they going to be in it? We don't know. But you do need the Queen of Wakanda, and that's Letitia Wright as Shuri, aka Black Panther. Um, Wakanda Forever, great movie.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Chadwick, R.I.P. of course. So I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with the Black Panther mantle because remember that concept art?
Yeah.
There was some concept art that got leaked from one of the artists that works at Marvel, or I don't know, if she still works there. I don't know. But there was some Doomsday art that leaked, and in that art, there was a Black Panther, but it wasn't Shuri, it was a T'Challa version.
Yeah.
So I'm very confident in believing that we're going to get two Black Panthers in this movie. I just don't know exactly when or where they're going to do it.
Yeah. And yeah, who knows is either gonna be in Doomsday or Secret Wars.
True. We got to remember, Secret Wars is going to be two times bigger than Doomsday.
Yeah.
So even if they don't do it in Doomsday, we shall see if they do it in Secret Wars. But I love Black Panther as a character.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Black Panther world, Winston Duke as M'Baku. Winston Duke, I need him in DC as Batman. That's my casting. But M'Baku, he is so funny. The way you bald headed demon to
Yeah.
Okoye and Wakanda Forever was so funny. I love that scene. and he was there with RDJ this past week when they watched Thunderbolts.
Yeah,
He was part of the crew, so he's already on set filming as M'Baku. Anything else you want to add about Winston Duke, Ruffy?
like it is great to see to see like any of the characters from the Black Panther
Yeah,
the stuff in Doomsday.
yeah. We need a Koye. She hasn't
Yep.
been announced yet.
And speaking of Black Panther, the
Ooh, Tenochtitlan, Miyaha as King Chaktakukukan, aka
AKA Namor.
Namor. Oh man, Rafi, you know my love for this character.
Yeah,
You know how he is my king. He is my king of Akukukan. He is Namor Atalukan. I love this.
yeah.
Rafi, you got anything?
Since of course they already confirmed Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm. uh, I'm very curious to see are they gonna somewhat adapt the whole like Sue Storm and Namor stuff.
She has a type.
Yeah,
She has a type. She
yeah,
loves Latinos.
yeah. I'm gonna show you an image of this one comic book panel. In the back of it, you see Reed Richards say,
He's screaming. Oh
yeah,
gosh.
yeah. The image will pop up right now.
But that's so funny. But now more. I don't know what more else to say. I'm glad he's gonna be back in the MCU.
Yeah,
Many, many, many,
and
many,
then
many. All of the X Men, the OG X Men, have been announced. Not every single one. There's a little weather that's missing. We need a storm. She
yeah,
has yet to be announced, but I'm sure she's gonna come back. But let's start off with Patrick Stewart as
that's
Charles
Charles
Xavier.
Xavier.
Not the first time we've seen him back in Marvel. We
Yeah,
saw him, of course, in
Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of
Multiverse of
Madness
Madness, where he got his neck snapped by
by
Wanda.
Wanda.
Rest in peace, Charles Xavier. But we've seen
Yeah,
him die like 6 times on screen, so
yeah,
it doesn't really matter.
yeah. And let's just say if he died in Doomsday, that'd be like the fourth time. First one was X-Men, and the last then Logan. One about Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. And if it happened again for Doomsday sequels, that'd be like the fourth time he
We've
got.
seen him die like 3 times already on
Yeah,
screen.
yeah, played by the same actor.
Oh man, Patrick Stewart, man, come on,
Yeah,
tell him to stop killing you off camera. But I love Professor X, X Men. One of my, I say this for a lot of characters. One of my favorites. One of my favorite X Men is godsend. I love these characters.
yeah,
But let's get into more X Men, and that is well, not he's not an well he leads X Men in
yeah.
'97, but arch rival of the X Men is Ian
Ian
McKellen
McKellen
as
as Magneto.
Magneto. They fear Magneto. Been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals
Yeah,
recently. But what more can I say, Ralph? So some of my favorite figures is Marvel Legends Magneto and Charles Xavier that you have in your room.
yeah.
That I got a couple of years ago. Ian McKellen, he had a fall. Was it last year or the year before he fell?
Last year.
Last year he was doing a stage play, fell off stage, hurt himself pretty bad. He had to stop acting for a little bit. But I'm glad that he's back up and running, and he's
Yeah.
going to be in another blockbuster movie. So I'm happy for him. Next we have what's his name in Sonic? N-
Donut Lord.
Donut Lord. You got Donut Lord, James Marsden as
A Cyclops.
Cyclops. I need him and I need him and Rocket Raccoon to be together in a
Yeah.
scene because he loves playing with animals.
Yeah.
And his co-stars are animals.
Yeah.
James Marsden. What more can I say?
Yeah.
In Sonic 3, he was talking about X-Men, like right?
Yeah.
He was
You're
like
doing interviews.
during interviews, they're
Yeah.
like something yellow, X-Men. Well,
Yeah.
okay. All right, so in this movie, with the red X-Men, like, can you stop talking about X-Men? That was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Let it go. But
Yeah.
it's because he knew he was coming back. He knew he was coming back because Sonic. They were doing. When was that?
December.
In this, he knew he was coming back a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for James. Or anything you want to ask about James Marsden?
I'm hoping in if they do some well like somewhat lead the Cyclops.
Yeah. Oh, he's definitely gonna be the leader.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like terms of like writing. Just
Yes.
like X-Men 97.
X Men '97 to me, my X Men, because they did him dirty in the movies.
Yeah.
So I need him to get his get back as
Yeah.
the character. So
Also, hopefully, we get to see the yellow blue
yeah,
suit
we need the suit. We need the accurate suits. Woo! This one I am excited for. Kelsey Grammer as
as Beast.
Beast. He was teased at the end of
The
the
Marvels.
Marvels last no not last year, the year before.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's most likely it's gonna be the same team from that post credit scene.
Yeah. So the X Men we're gonna see is gonna be from this world that Monica Rambeau landed
Yeah,
in. So Safe to say, Monica Rambeau's going to be in this movie, but they just haven't announced her yet. Tiana Prince, but Kelsey Grammer, absolute legend. Love him as Beast. He will forever be my Beast. Him and Nicholas Holt, who
Yeah.
is Lex Luthor now. But I can't wait to see him back because he's so smart. And he always, whenever there's these massive crossover events in Marvel, like when you have like the Avengers, the X-Men, the Inhumans, the new Avengers, the Thunderbolts, Fantastic. Everyone comes together, Beast is always the one that's kind of like, obviously with Magneto and Charles, but Beast is always like the speaker because he's so smart. Every time they need something from the X Men, they go to Beast. Like whenever Captain America needs, I need to go talk to the X Men. He goes and talks to Beast. Because Beast is such like a leader. So I love this character. Next, we have Alan Cumming as
As
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler X2, one of the greatest openings of any X Men movie ever.
Yeah.
So good. Are you? What are your thoughts on seeing Nightcrawler back in Marvel?
So yeah, for Nightcrawler though, like since it's been a while since I last seen X2, but
Yeah,
like probably like 5 years.
really, we need to watch it again.
Yeah.
I think it'd be like 20 years since he last played this character, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because X no last was he in? He was in Last Stand, right?
Don't.
I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen those movies. So,
Yeah.
but Alan coming back. And speaking of another blue character, we have Rebecca Ramjan. I mispronounced that. I'm so sorry. As the wonderful
Mystique.
Mystique. Uh, she was great as Mystique.
Yeah.
At in Last Stand, she lost her powers, but that doesn't matter. That was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Yeah. And plus, so these future past basically retcon everything.
Yeah, Days of Future Past retcon. So when you look back, Rafi, the X Men Fox universe was such a mess.
Yeah.
It was such a mess.
Yeah.
Like, they gave us Hugh Jackman, they gave us Patrick Stewart and James Marsden and Halle and all that, but they're like, uh what is it called? Their continuity,
Yeah.
absolute mess. But who cares? But I'm excited to see her back as
Yeah.
Mystique.
And I'm really hoping we can see like the white like skull.
Yeah, she has the white skull. She has or like the skull, and she has the white dress.
Yeah.
She has like the holster with the gun. I hope they give her like her more comic accurate, which I think they will.
Yeah.
I think for all the X Men characters, they're gonna give us the comic accurate suits
Yeah.
because obviously for Kelsey Grammer they went CG.
Yeah.
Professor X, they gave him the yellow chair with
Yeah.
his green suit,
Yep. And recently for Deadpool Wolverine, we got Wolverine, Hugh Jackman in the yellow suit.
the yellow suit with the cowl with the mask and stuff. So I'm excited for this one. All right, next we have. Woo, I'm gonna make a name for myself here. Channing Tatum
As
as
Gambit.
the Gambit. They call me Remy LeBeau, but you can call me
The
the
Gambit.
Gambit. Woo, man. I don't know what else to say here, bro.
So yeah, like I'm very happy for Channing Tatum to be in an Avengers film because for years he tried to get the solo Gambit film that never came to fruition, but now knowing that he's now in an Avengers film is
Yeah,
something.
I remember when his movie got canceled.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? Because I love Channing Tatum as an actor. I think he's hilarious and he's just a great drama actor as
Yeah.
well. And I was bummed out for him because he had something that was, that he pushed for, he worked hard for, because he's from the South. He's from Alabama. Remy LeBeau is from the Bayou in Louisiana, so they're little geography a little apart, but they're still Southern characters. And I think and Channing Tatum, I think he has roots to over there in Louisiana. So he really advocated for this character, and it didn't happen. But and Deadpool Wolverine, woo, I'm finna make a name for myself here.
Finally got.
Finally got him, and it
Yeah.
felt good to see his character. Out of all the cameos, this one surprised me the most
Yeah.
because when I saw Wesley Snipes Blade, I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
And then I saw Elektra, I was like, "Oh yeah, we knew she was gonna come in this movie." And then we saw Channing Tatum, I was like, "Oh my god!" So I'm excited for Channing Tatum as Gambit.
Yeah.
All right, next we have. Oh, that's it. I thought there was more. Oh man. Okay, but there is another part we want to get into. So, like I mentioned at the beginning of this long video, that there was a list apparently of actors that are 90% gonna end up in this movie. Some of them are pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Some of them we can guess and be like, Well, nope, Sherlock. We knew he was going to be in there. Knew she was going to be in there. There's some of them that we probably didn't think about. So this is from Reddit, of course, a site that I don't use, but I saw this post when I was googling the Doomsday cast,
Yeah.
and I saw that Jeff Snyder's name was attached to it. Like I mentioned earlier, Jeff Snyder is a Marvel source, very, very well connected. Cross his eyes, dots his cross the no crosses his T's, dots his eyes. I had that backwards. Has he been right every single time? No. Has he been right a good amount of time for some really stuff that no one would have known? Yeah, he has. So let's go ahead and get into this list. It's a long one. It
Okay.
says right here, Doomsday. Jeff Snyder reveals the rest of the cast for Avengers Doomsday. I'll go through like 10, talk about it real quick, go through the next 10 because I think there's like 35 people. Can we get some water? Ready, Ralph? All right. If I mispronounce some of these names, I apologize in advance. Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner, Benedict Wong as Wong, Brie Larson as Carol Danvers, Don Cheadle as James Rhodes,
Jeremy
Karen
Renner.
Gillan as Nebula, Jeremy
Jeremy
Renner as
Renner is
Clint Barton, Iman Vellani as Kamala Khan, Danai Giria as Okoye, love Okoye, Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie, and Ki Hu Kwan as Ouroboros. Woo! That's 10 off the bat.
yeah.
All right, Ralphie, what do you think of these first 10?
Okay, for the first 10 though, since of course there's obviously characters you need for it to be an Avengers film, like of course Mark Ruffalo Hulk, Brie Larson Captain Marvel,
Yeah.
definitely Lee Wong as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
Wongers. We need Narasan. But love these first 10. I'm happy for Iman
Yeah.
because she's such a massive Marvel fan. She's writing Miss Marvel. What she thinks she wrote Miss Marvel already.
Yeah.
So happy for her if this list is true.
Yeah. And even one in concept art leak a
She
mid
was involved.
yeah.
Yeah, she was in the concept art. Yeah, she was in there. A few other young Avengers. But let's go ahead and get into this next 10.
Okay.
Tiana, I've been saying Prince. It's Paris. I'm so sorry. Tiana Paris as Monica Rambeau, Will Poulter as Adam Warlock, Dominic Thorne as Riri Williams. Her show comes out next month. Xochitl Gomez as America Chavez, Sophie Di Martino as Sylvie. She has my heart. Tatiana Maslany as She-Hulk also has my heart. Yahya Abdul Mateen as Wonder
Wonder
Man,
Man.
Catherine Newton as Cassie Lang, uh, Wunmi Mosaku as B-15. She was in Sinners. Sinners, great movie. Lashana Lynch as Maria Rambeau. All right, that's the next 10. Thoughts on this 10 right here?
Okay, so far though, nothing thing I can like think of right now, but again, let's me see if like any of them might be true. Like since of course I'm gonna say for me though I'm gonna give this one the salt.
The salt, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I love Sylvie. Absolutely love Monica Rambeau. And Yahya Abdul Mateen, one of my favorite actors working right now. His show comes out in December.
Yeah.
So his show Wonder Man comes out in December, and then Avengers is in May. He'll be fresh into people's minds, and I think he'd be a wonderful addition to this cast. Let's go and get into the next set of 10. Where is it? Where did I leave off? Okay, right here. Famke Janssen as Jean Grey, Halle Berry as Storm, Kai Zen as Phyla from Guardians 3, Owen Wilson as Mobius, Chris Pratt as Peter Quill, Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, Charlize Theron as Clea, Benedict Cumberbatch as Stephen Strange, Haley Atwell as Peggy Carter. And we'll go ahead and just get into the rest because there's
Okay.
only a few more. Chris Evans, Steve
Steve
Rogers,
Rogers
Bradley Cooper, Rocky Raccoon, Vin Diesel, I am Groot, and Maria Bakalova
as
as Cosmo.
Cosmo.
All right, what do you think of the rest of this list, starting from Jean Grey all the way to Cosmo?
Okay, so it is interesting like if this turned out to be true that for like Guardians members
Mm-hmm.
to be in this one.
Yeah, yeah. There wasn't a single Guardians member announced, but
Yeah.
we're gonna get Guardians.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Plus, though, like again, the concept art league, we see Chris Pratt, and
Yeah, we see Chris Pratt with the Young Avengers
yeah,
and Vision.
yeah,
But none of the Guardians were announced for this movie.
yeah,
So of course we're gonna get Guardians because we have a bunch of different teams.
yeah.
And then the remainder, I mean, the big name from basically this entire list is Chris Evans returning as Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
Who knows what type of Steve Rogers we're gonna get? Are we gonna get the Nomad Steve Rogers, which we got in Infinity War? Are we gonna get Hydra Steve Rogers from Secret Empire? Are we gonna get normal Steve Rogers, Captain America? Are we gonna get
Uh,
Human Torch again?
yeah. Or are we gonna get Steve Rogers that without the super serum?
The skinny Steve. Are we gonna get that? We don't know what type of Steve we're gonna.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get multiple? We don't know.
I am Steve.
I am Steve Rogers. But excited for the Guardians, of
Yeah.
course. They're Guardians 3 is in my top five all time
Yeah.
MCU movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What you gonna say?
Also, I just realized though about the She-Hulk one.
What's up?
Again, there's another concept of as well with the Hulk village.
Yes, the Hulk Village with She-Hulk and the
Yeah.
Hulk. That looks amazing.
Yeah. And I do hope we get this one character, the older like the Hulk like that has like long white hair.
Scar.
Yes.
Oh no, no. Oh,
No.
Maestro.
Yeah.
Maestro, like the Bad Hulk.
Yeah. That has like the long white hair,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
a bit the beard.
yeah. That's Maestro. He's the better version of
Yeah.
Hulk. Yeah,
So who knows? He might show up in that Hulk village.
yeah. Most likely. And who knows if we're even gonna get that?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. Again, Swiss concept though. Sometimes they're like early ideas that may or may not make it to the final product.
Of course. Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
and of course, who knows? Either Doomsday or Secret Wars.
Yeah. I don't know yet. We'll
Yep.
see where they come in at. But I'm just gonna list off a handful of characters that I'm beyond excited. Well, more than a handful. Mark Ruffalo, of course, Bruce Banner. Brie Larson, love her as Carol Danvers. I'm really excited to see Sylvie and She-Hulk return. Wonder Man, I'm hyped for that show. So I
Yep.
wonder how he's gonna be in Avengers. And then of course I'm excited for Steve Rogers, Peggy Carter, Stephen Strange, and the rest. Excuse me, of the Guardians, and as well as my queen, Storm Halle Berry. So, Ralphie, what characters or what actors and actresses are you really excited to
So
see?
it's kind of tough to choose.
Yes, there's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna choose my top five,
go ahead.
like the most like or the top seven most I was looking forward to see.
Okay, go ahead. Let me know when you need me to scroll.
Okay, and let's see. I cannot choose because it's so.
Oh, okay. All right, or just name a few, just a couple at least.
Let's see. Hulk, Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel. Well, who else? Like somewhat.
There's Jean Grey, Storm,
Jean Grey, Doctor
Stephen, Doctor
Strange.
Strange, of course. Doctor Strange is
Yeah,
amazing. Clea, his wife, Clea. Can't wait for that.
yeah, and wondering what Wonder Man role is gonna be in.
Yeah, Simon Williams. I'm
Yeah,
so excited for Wonder Man. He's like the only one out of all of these characters that we have yet to see live action at all. So very curious to see how he carries himself within the MCU. But guys, that is the end of our Avengers Doomsday official casting, already confirmed, and possible casting, and
yeah,
all the other stuff that we are excited to see. So, guys, I'm excited. You, Ralphie?
yeah. Very excited. Oh yeah. Also, there's one last thing I really want to say.
What is it?
So here's a little story that happened about Wolverine. So I remember 2023. Whenever they were filming Deadpool Wolverine,
Mhm.
I was watching the 2013 Wolverine deleted scene with where they show off the comic book accurate suit.
Yes.
I was watching that clip, and the next day they revealed the suit.
Yeah, they did. Dude, the timing of that was crazy.
Yeah,
It's kind of whenever I bought Hulk on Blu-ray, and
yeah,
then like a day later they announced Hulk on streaming when he had never been on streaming before.
yeah,
So I thought that was, this is the same. It's kind of the same thing. Like
yeah,
the timing is hilarious. Uh, but guys, Ralph and I we've been looking forward to doing this video. It's a little late in terms of when this news was announced,
yeah.
but
But hey, it's never too late to tell us our thoughts about it.
exactly, better late than never. So guys, give us our thoughts. What characters are you excited to see from the confirmed, from that list of actors and actresses
Yeah,
that are, rumored to be part of the
yeah,
movie, and who is left off of this list? Oh yeah, there was a couple.
yeah,
No Spider-Man, no
yeah.
Scarlet Witch,
Or
no Deadpool,
no
no
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
And also, if Deadpool shows up, that we want to know is why Thor is crying.
Well, I was still crying, but we shall see.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add, Ralphie, before we wrap this up?
Nope.
Nope. All right, guys. Please like, share,
and
and subscribe.
subscribe.
As always, I'm Chris.
And well,
Catch you on next time.
peace.
Peace.